So with last week's episode of Halo, we got the fall of Reach, and it was actually mostly a watchable episode with some solid action, CGI, explosions, and guns shooting off, action scenes that we've been wanting to see the whole series. A lot of that happened last week. I had my criticisms of the last episode, but in retrospect, now that I've seen this one, it's probably the best episode of this show that we're gonna get, because I would be very surprised if we get a season 3 based on the trajectory of the story right now. Basically, last week's episode, we built up to the Fall of Reach so much. It's such a huge part of Halo lore. It's just this big event that's supposed to be earth-shattering. But that's all that we get. It was one episode, one and done. We get one watchable scene in this episode, an action scene at the beginning that is still laughable. But then the rest of the episode, we get the lame drama bullshit that we've been getting all season, and it continues to be absolutely abysmal, trying to be emotional and thought-provoking in its surface level at best. At worst, it is stalling, waiting for the budget to catch up so we can afford to do another action scene later in the season. And that's what I gotta say about this episode. The best part of this episode here are the laughably hilarious parts that are unintentional, of course. The unintentional hilarity is my favorite part of the episode. Basically, the main plot line of this episode is all of the women in the show are trying to get the men to be more emotional. Why aren't you crying? Why aren't you having more feelings right now? That's basically the main conflict of this episode. And we got Cortana and everybody reuniting in this episode. And then we get a cliffhanger for next week. We see the Spartan 3s at the end. We get the Arbiter and McKee. They're going to go find Halo, I guess. The Halo ring. I don't know. It's just a bunch of nonsense. But it's all setting up things that are down the line. But this particular episode was just... it was just dull, and that's the best thing I could say about it, is that it was dull. And all of the things that it's trying to say artistically are just completely asinine, in my opinion. And with that, I think we're just going to break into the breakdown. But in this week, when we got The Ones Who Live, the Walking Dead spinoff, the sequel series that I love so much on Sunday, a couple of nights ago, I saw the show Shogun, the first two episodes, incredible. And now we got Dune Part 2 coming out tomorrow. It's just an amazing week for entertainment. I know lots of people are enjoying Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's video games coming out, Final Fantasy remakes, like so many good things to spend your time on. The fact that people are wasting their time on this show and defending it, I don't understand it. This show at best is just something to pass the time until something better comes along. This is not a show people are going to rewatch or even really remember what happens months down the line. I don't sincerely think that this is anybody's favorite show or anything like that, and the visceral reaction people get to me criticizing it is just like, come on, dude, it is average at best. It is generic dystopian sci-fi that is unwatchable, in my opinion. But I like making these videos, so that's what I'm doing. But we got one scene here at the beginning that is somewhat cool. We get a kind of cool POV shots. We got sparks flying and all that. I like the cinematography. I love the CGI of the aliens, so I could say something positive about it. The Brute was cool. I like seeing the Brute. That was awesome. The only thing is, like, they're like, we gotta retreat. Let's back up into this corner where we can't go anywhere else. That's not what you want to... no escape route. You're gonna jump out the window and die? Like, why would you just... I don't know. There's no thinking into the strategy here, and they just cornered themselves into this room. I love that they swing a grab hammer around. Some of that's cool. And then the first absolutely unintentionally hysterical part happens, and a ship is coming to save them. Deus Ex Machina. Guess who it is? It's fucking Soren's wife and Kwana. Oh, dude, they didn't even try to explain this. Just the astronomical coincidence going on here that they just so happen to show up right here, right now. They don't even try to say, like, oh, Soren had some chip under his skin that even if he did, surely the UNSC would have found it when they picked him up. Some geolocator, like, they could have tried to explain it. They didn't even hesitate. They're just like, no, it's fucking fine. Nobody's really watching the show with any intensity. Nobody cares, and people are defending it still because it's just, ooh, it looks cool, colorful, wow. Budget, I guess. It barely has a budget this episode. But anyways, I laughed hysterically when they showed up because the coincidence of everything. And also Quana holding this, like, minigun, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. This girl would not be able to even pick this thing up, let alone fucking stop it from, like, the recoil. You gotta really fight that recoil. She does not have the upper body strength. She would be knocked over by this thing. And don't even point at me saying it like, oh, I'm sexist for saying that. I would probably not be able to pick this thing up. I would probably get knocked over by this thing. It's not, you need to be like a really strong person, and they could have had it on a little turret stand. It's just, even that would be a little bit of a stretch, but it's just goofy, bro. She could do anything and everything. She's the best soldier ever of all time, the ultimate girl boss in this episode, and I was just instantly, hysterically laughing. I wish I recorded my reaction of me watching this episode, because I was doing inappropriate laughs this entire time. And I got a sideline Master Chief here, because they can't have budget to do more Fall of Reach stuff. So we gotta sideline everybody, we make him injured, and make him look pathetic. He needs a mommy in this episode, guys, and he needs to get in touch with his feelings. That's the plot of this episode, as far as Master Chief is concerned. And then Riz runs back for a dead body. I was like, who's she running back for? Didn't everybody die? And she comes in with the dead body. I'm hysterically laughing. It's supposed to be this big heroic thing. I'm like, you just got yourself killed over nothing, because she gets shot in the back during this part. It's funny, dude. It is just funny. They've been trained their whole lives. It doesn't matter. Like they're just dead, right? And the whole rest of this episode is like, you need to feel the loss, man. And it's like, fine, whatever. It's just hilarious to me. I laughed hysterically at that. And then we got Master Chief getting revived by Halsey, and we got a flashback that seemed unnecessary. I don't know why we're flashing back to the opening scene of the season after he died at the end of season 1. It's just like reinforcing the stupidity that has been this show up to this point. Here we got a scene with McKee and the Arbiter. And I gotta say, I like the Arbiter's voice, it's well cast. I will say, in terms of design, he does stand out, but it's hard to distinguish him. I had people asking me, like, why I was so sure that the Arbiter was the Arbiter in the last episodes, because they don't refer to him as that. They do in IMDb, that's why I'm calling him the Arbiter and all that, but people don't know who this guy is. He just kind of, he's the one in charge. Like, you have to use context clues, and you have to know Halo to know that he's the Arbiter and that he's important. And they didn't really do anything to emphasize that. And that's the only thing with design. It doesn't stand out enough. But I love the voice actor. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. The CGI is good enough. It's fine. And then they failed their mission, I guess. They didn't get all the magic artifacts mystery box BS, but they got Cortana. And I guess that is enough. But the Arbiter's like, we fucking sucked or whatever. We're the worst. And then McKee's like, it was a victory and blah, blah. And apparently they're changing some of the lore for this, and the Arbiter was supposed to kill the demon to redeem himself, and yet he's still listening to this bitch. Like, why didn't he just do it then? Apparently he's already the Arbiter, and his punishment will be reversed if he kills the demon, which would make sense if they had crossed paths before, but I don't know that we've seen that up until the first episode of this season, unless it happened between seasons and we just didn't see it. So I don't know what's going on here. Really silly. And I don't even know why they call him the demon at this point. They didn't really establish anything. So they're changing the lore. Instead of him getting the title of Arbiter and he failed at the Halo ring in the first game, now it's like he already failed off screen somewhere. And now, I don't know. It's a really awkward change for no particular reason. Adds nothing to the story. Here we got Master Chief, and he's really fucked up. He's injured, blah, blah, whatever. And then he's like, the same conversation we've been having this whole time. Is she a weapon, or is she a woman? Is she a person, or is she just a thing to be used by you? And I don't know if there's supposed to be sexual tension, but it kind of comes off like that. I don't know. It's funny to me. And it's just like, oh, he needs her to carry him. He just needs a mommy, guys. He just needs family. And that's like I'm serious. That's the point of this season, bro. I can't take it. And then we're like, we're gonna fast forward the rest of the Fall of Reach because who cares about that? I guess it already happened, and it was political. It was a plan to let Reach fall all along. Whatever, dude. Here's Cortana. And with the sci-fi, it's like, where is she being projected from? You know, at least on a UNSC base where she was before, she had like a platform. There was light there she could use, and that she's just like this hologram being spawned from where? I don't know. It's really silly. Cortana's a nothing character in this show. She's just here for plot, I guess. I don't know. Like, she has no personality. She has no intelligence. She just has basic data. She's just useless in this show. Whereas she was like the central part of the war effort in conjunction with Master Chief in the source material. And I had so many people telling me that my Halo fandom is getting in the way of me really loving this show, when this show relies on you having this prior knowledge already to even give a shit about it. Its marketing is that it is Halo. Like, if they wanted to make their own show, they could have called it anything. They could have done something completely different. The fact that this is Halo is the reason it exists, and acting like I, as a Halo fan, am letting that get in the way is just missing the whole point of what it's supposed to be, okay? So, it's just a stupid show. And people are like, you just don't get it, man. This is, like, really simplistic writing. It is really base-level bullshit. It is not this Shakespearean depth writing, like this really eternal... people are going to watch this in 20 years and be like, wow, people in 2024 made such great entertainment. No, it's content, dude. It is content. And it is a waste of your time. I'm only having fun with it because making videos, but that's about it. Now we're on this new planet, and it's snowing, and Riz is getting healed by Halsey, and Quana is here, of course. And then it just so happens, because coincidences are everything, because again, surface level writing, the kid, Soren's kid, just so happens to have been taken here as well. So just coincidentally, you know, it's the nearest planet, I guess. I don't know. And there's a slave trade going on, and they're like, oh, there's a kid with a helmet. You remember this kid with the helmet? It's like, bro, he pulls out this manifest of hundreds of names, and he happens to remember this one kid with a helmet, when that's probably like the Master Chief's face is everywhere, and is probably just a toy that a lot of people have, and he just happens to remember this one kid, and he remembers this name. I don't think so. I know it was just 3 days ago, but if he process all those people, then it was a full dropship full of people. And no, but I'm the one who doesn't get it, guys. Even though the writers don't even think of this shit. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. And then she's like, Quana's like, you gotta bury the dude. And she was like hanging out with the corpse on the ship, and she doesn't even know this guy. I don't even know if they met in the first episode, and if she did, she hated him, because she hated everybody in the UNSC. I mean, rightfully so, because she was fighting a war against them. But, like, she's acting like she has all this feeling for this guy she doesn't know at all. It's weird that she's hanging out with a dead body. I don't know. And imagine if you had it right the first time when he's like, my friend is gone, blah, blah, we need to move on. And it's like, yeah, we're fighting a war. We don't have time for this shit. That's like, it's the most surface level of problems when it comes to just the scope and scale of the war that we're fighting for humanity's survival. We don't have time for that type of stuff, you know? And that should be the point that this show gets to, but it's not. And here we got a scene with Soren's wife, and she's like, why aren't you, like, crying? The whole planet died, and you're acting normal. And then she throws off the wig. It's like, oh, dude, it's just like, I don't want to wear this for my man anymore. Like, what was the point of that? It's like, I don't know, some empowerment thing. It's just dumb, dude. Didn't she choose to wear that wig? I don't know. It was just funny. Just came off as funny. Now Riz is awake, and she's talking to Halsey about, oh, remember when I was 14, blah, blah, blah. Okay, mandatory backstory drop for no reason. All right, and then Quano's dragging this body. She's digging this hole, even though the ground is frozen, Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, she can carry miniguns and shoot that, so I guess why not at this point? Master Chief, like, why wouldn't you at least just help her? I mean, you might as well. Like, I get his point of view. I'm on his side more so. But it was just like, bro, what? Why are you letting that girl do that? It's like, I can't leave Riz, even though she's gonna be here still. I don't know. I don't know. It's just funny. And then she's talking to the dead body. You have to be everybody I lost, I guess. Yeah, I'm telling Master Chief to mourn, even though apparently she never did. And that's, I don't. It's just stupid, dude. And then Master Chief is talking to Halsey. He's like, "Why me? Why did you pick me?" And then the answer that we get at the end of the episode is what we already found out in season 1, that he is like made with the Forerunner artifacts and he's a special person. And she's just like, "I just found you." It's like, no shit, dude. Like that's inherent in him being here. It doesn't even make sense. But that's the big thing between Halsey and him this episode. And then there's these random people show up. They just so happen to know that she's doing this, and then they bring a bunch of fire. And what? What are those people do? Why are they even paying attention to her? Like, what is going on? It doesn't make any sense. And now we're on like a farm or something, although they're not farming much because it's the middle of winter. But this is where the slave kid was taken. Ridiculous scene here. And then, she runs outside, and then Soren's like, "I'm going to talk about my past for some reason." I don't know. Just go in with a gun and shoot him already. Like, why does he have a gun? I don't know. And then blah blah blah, whatever. And this whole scene means nothing because it turns out that it's not even the kid that's here. Another kid has the helmet, and he just so happened to meet the kid on the ship. And then the kid, Soren's kid, gave the helmet away, and the kid just so happens to be wearing it all the time anyway. And it's a nothing scene, dude. It's just laughable to me. I don't know. And then we got the funeral scene, and I never cared about this character anyway, so it's just like a fluff of a scene. And Halsey has a big emotional monologue, even though she's not that at all. And then Chief comes up, and he's like, "That we're gonna make sure that the ones who caused you to die pay." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, so the Arbiter and the Covenant. And then he walks away, and then he's like, "No, Ackerson, we're gonna murder Ackerson." I was like, okay, I don't know. This whole thing, man, it's so stupid, bro. I hate all this. And then Halsey reveals the truth. And then this hysterical hallucination scene that is just laughably bad when the shaman lady from the first episode of this season comes back. And I guess it's calling back to last season with Quana. She had this whole, like, tripping episode where she was at this shaman group and they were giving her ayahuasca or something like that. It was a really stupid episode. And we have this really stupid scene, and she's like, "You are," she I forget what she says. "You are the savior," or something. I don't know. It's stupid. It's really dumb. Nobody likes that character, bro. And then now McKee and the Arbiter are going back to High Charity, and that's where the prophets are. And she's really mad about it because she wants to go to the Halo ring, I guess. And then she has Cortana show like a vision of the Halo ring, and even though the Arbiter's like whole life is service to these prophets, and she's blaspheming against them, he's about to kill her, and then he sees a vision of the Halo ring. He's like, "Oh, I guess everything that I'm fighting for and everything my life is about, who cares, right? Let's go AWOL." I mean, that's the same thing that the Master Chief did in the first episode, so I guess it fits. Nobody gives a fuck. And I just want to add the obvious that, of course, based on the original Halo game series, right after the fall of Reach, they're supposed to go pretty much straight to the Halo ring from the first game. So we're changing the lore there. And of course, there's also the game Halo Reach, which is all around Noble Team trying to get Cortana to the ship that we see in Halo 1. And all of that is completely blown out of this timeline. So we're just going to move past everything that's more interesting than what happens in this episode, and we're going to do all this asinine stuff instead. So who cares about the lore, right? I mean, it's the only reason that this show exists in the first place, but I'm repeating myself at this point. Now Riz is awake, and she gets waved at by a kid, and that means, oh, I have a family now. It's like, I don't, realistically, the kid couldn't even see in the window. So, like, it's just dumb. And here we got another laughable scene where the mom, even though he's a shop owner and he probably would have a gun, right? Or some way to defend himself, she's like wrapping barbed wire around this thing, and it's just, she's trying to intimidate him, and it's hilarious to me. Like, it's a stupid scene, dude. And he could just like, he could take her out, dude. I know she's got a weapon, but he doesn't even try. He's just a wimp, I guess. And then, now they know where their son is, apparently. And then Riz makes the very selfish decision that she's going to give up fighting. Now, I understand that she's injured, and if that was the angle, it made sense. She should tell Chief, like, I'm not going to be any good to you because I need to heal and I need time. But no, she's like, no, I want to live a real life with a family, and people really have families, and blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing, like, this show resents any sort of sense of duty. And I've mentioned that in reviews before, where they look at being a soldier as a lesser being. They look at that as wasting your life. And that is, like, really just, it's a statement on the state of the world right now, I guess, because really, that is a higher order. You are fighting so that other people can do that, so that other people can have a peaceful life with family and friends. That's why soldiers do what they do, right? They're called to a higher order. And that is not at all important. Even though they just had a planet get wiped out, and the Covenant are not going to stop. They want to wipe out every little thing. She's like, no, I'm just going to fuck off and have a family, and if the Covenant come here, I guess everybody will die, and that'll be fine, I guess. I hate this character, dude. It's just so stupid. If you want to have this plot line where, like, soldiers adjusting to life after and finding a new purpose, like, that's a great story. There's a lot of really meaningful stuff there. But just acting like being a soldier is lesser than what you're doing now, it's just not really, it's just not okay. And here we got Kai, and it turns out that she went with Ackerson. And then I guess she's the new Master Chief or something, because there's all these soldiers here. And I'm guessing that these are Spartan 3s. And this part is cool, like, just the visuals of it. I mean, it's, CGI stuff, but it's pretty solid. And I guess maybe that's why Ackerson took the suits, even though none of these suits look like that. And they just spawned these guys out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, dude. The whole thing is that if Ackerson knew all that was going to happen, why would he even have gone to Reach in the first place? Like, why not just send somebody there, pick up what he needs, and then, like, go? Why would he even go there? Why does he need to be there personally if he knew that if it was his plan to let Reach get taken? I don't know. This whole show is dumb. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And with that, I look forward to reviewing Dune Part 2 on Saturday. My video is going to go up, seeing it Friday night. My video is going to go up probably just a short. And then Sunday, we're going to be back with The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Can't wait for that. And I hope to see you guys for more shorts later this week. And with that, it's been your boy Shuggy, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.